You asked for it. Here it is. It's a podcast from Apathetic Enthusiasm.
Oh, hey, Apathetic Enthusiasm, brought to you by Gillette.
The best a man can get. He can't get much better. He can't. I mean, what, you expect him to get better than that? What do you expect?
Why? Why would you expect that from?
I expect very little. I don't expect much. Speaking of not expecting much, this is Apathetic Enthusiasm, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for being here. We are back with the podcast.
Yeah.
Back with the drops, back with the live audience, back for you. My name is Travis.
And my name is Brandon. And what we do here on Apathetic Enthusiasm, the podcast for you, is we delve into the topics of today, tomorrow, and yesteryear in order to bring you fresh perspective from two men who don't have any.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to catch the late breaking perspectives that we share on the social internet, you can follow us at Apathusiast on Twitter, Facebook.com/Apathetic Enthusiasm Show. Email us, apatheticenthusiasmshow@gmail.com. Instagram, when was the last time you posted on Instagram, Brandon? Apathetic_enthusiasm. And then, of course, this podcast, all our podcasts, Rick and Morty related podcasts, all available at apatheticenthusiasm.com. Shout out to the folks watching us stream live right now while we make this over on Twitch, twitch.tv/apathetic enthusiasm, and of course, youtube.com/apathetic enthusiasm. 140 subscribers, 140 people that get notified every Monday when we go live. I don't know if they all do. I don't know if they all get notified.
We need a solid 143 subscriber count for YouTube.
Oh, so we can feel the love.
Feeling that love. Oh yeah. Funny you mentioned Instagram. Actually, you said, when's the last time you posted on Instagram? I meant to post on Instagram yesterday, as a matter of fact, for like a story for Father's Day, and I was on the Rick and Morty pod one instead. Rick and Morty podcast over on Instagram if you're interested. And I'm like, okay, I was looking at it. I was looking at the filters and how do I post just a story? And because I don't know, I was sleepy or something, and I just started a live. I didn't start a story. I did it live, and I realized
you went live on our Instagram.
And I looked so bad. I didn't look good. Like, my hair's disheveled. I might have been wearing the same shirt I'm wearing now. It doesn't matter. But Lewis,
I'm trying to think of the last time I saw you not in that shirt.
Yeah, it's true. May have been recording Friday night like this. not gonna lie. I don't take showers, but 3 times a week.
Month.
But Luis Reyes, he's a Chief Master Sergeant in the United States Air Force. He's a person and head of AFES, which is the Army Air Force Exchange Services. Anyways, he started watching the live story instantly. I was like, hey, happy Father's Day. Hi. Okay. I'm leaving. That's that whole story. Anyways, I was embarrassed.
Did you pull it off of our stories after you did it?
Nope.
It just sat up there. I wish it
stay there.
It's probably too late now. It is probably expired. But yeah, that's good. This is Apathetic Enthusiasm. If you are a diehard big fan of Apathetic Enthusiasm and don't realize that we record another podcast called Interdimensional RSS, which is an unofficial Rick and Morty podcast, that's where we've been for the last month, almost 2 months, because there were 5 new episodes out there, and we're just doing that thing.
We're just doing it. We're just doing.
Am I crackly to you, Brandon?
Well, you are to me, but I don't know if it's the internet or if it's your mic input. It might be just me. I'm always quick to say it's me and not you. But that's
how we end up with like 3 episodes where there's like buzzing in the background, and you're like, yeah, I was doing it the whole time. I just didn't want to say anything. Is it because we're live that you're like, hey, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna type it into the stream chat. The stream.
Well, I just didn't. A long singular time. I didn't want to. I didn't want to interrupt you. I wanted your thought to keep going, and then somebody in the chat would have been like, yeah, okay, he's good. He
seems fine. He seems fine. He seems well lit. He seems great.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Well, first, thank you for the stream confirming that you do in fact sound okay.
Right.
And now let's go into the next part of that is the lighting. You look exceptionally well lit right now, Travis.
Thank you.
And I can't tell you the last time I've seen you in such a positive light.
Hey. Yeah, I got lighting for my desk. So this is what I used to stream like.
Oh, geez.
And this is me now. You can see all the unpleasantries of my face.
You know what? Your image is kind of like mine when it's lit, right? Whenever I have the foreground light on, then the light reflects off of my glass. And you get the same kind of effect right there. It's
right here on the shorn top of my head, where there's no hair. Yeah, I guess that's why like movies use makeup, right? It's like
the image from the beginning of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yes, I still live in Mirror World, Philip. I do. My shirt is backwards.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but not to you, Brandon. Only to the viewers on stream, because
I was talking. We'll get into the actual topics here in a second, but
we don't have actual topics. It's apathetic enthusiasm. We're glad you're here, guys.
For Father's Day, I was FaceTiming with my dad, and my mom was talking to me as well, and she was like, she had words on her shirt and said like Glendale, California, or something. She's like, "Oh, the words are backwards. Why are the words back? Why are the words backwards on the shirt? Why?" Like they look fine to me, Mom. It's just it's because it's a front facing camera. It looks like it's backwards for you, but it's not backwards for me. It's like, but it's backwards on the camera. Like, no, it's not actually backwards. It's just like it says
and
in
then
and out.
2 hours later, we moved on to another topic.
Yeah. So let's talk about our first topic: technology of front-facing camera.
Yeah. So Apple had their Worldwide Developers Conference keynote today.
Damn it!
We're going all the way back to the very first episode of Apathetic Enthusiasm, where we were going to be a tech podcast. Gosh, remember those days? Yeah, that's not us anymore. Yeah, we're not talking about front-facing cameras. The first note that I have in our show notes is that this is the first AE since April 27th. That was the last time we recorded. And man, remember way back when like coronavirus was a thing? That was so long ago.
Remember when Wave 1 ended?
Nope.
It's great. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Because it all happened so fast, and then it disappeared just as quickly as it showed up.
Yeah.
I wasted so much money on masks. Why did anybody telework? Nobody knows why.
Yeah. Good thing we don't have to worry about that anymore. Stay safe, guys. Social distance. This isn't going anywhere. All right. So, let's talk about all of the things that we have done since our last episode, whether that's TV, games, maybe a little D&D sprinkled in. You watched any good shows during our, other than Rick and Morty? Yeah, we could talk about Rick and Morty. If you want to hear Rick and Morty stuff, go download Interdimensional RSS. It's a great podcast. I highly recommend it.
I highly recommend it. What have we been up to? Well, what have I been up to? Now the first thing we have on there is TV, so we'll start with that.
Sure.
And the first show noted there is Ozark.
Ozark.
Now it's season 3 is out. There's gonna be a season 4, I believe.
Last I Googled, 4 had not been confirmed. Now, unless, I mean, I'll re-Google because.
Well, you don't have to do that.
No, I have to now. Yeah, Jason Bateman says not an official pickup on season 4.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. So Ozark, I watched 2 episodes of the show, maybe 3, but definitely 2, and it's pretty good. Jason Bateman, Laura Linney as well. Good, decent show. We talk about pilots all the time on this podcast, about pilots, sometimes working, sometimes not, as far as shows are concerned. And I liked it, but it also felt very derivative of what I felt was just like another Breaking Bad story. And
yeah,
and I say that knowing Breaking Bad didn't define is not like the original version of these types of stories.
Yeah,
but it felt Breaking Bad in its initial thing. And I know the show goes in some different places, and you learn about other characters and so on and so forth, that maybe gets further away from that. But especially since Bateman like starts off as kind of broken already to a certain extent.
And the interesting thing, if you're making a Breaking Bad comparison, is like in Breaking Bad, what is it, Walt?
Walt White.
Yeah, the Heisenberg. That's the name I was looking for. He goes through an evolution in that show where he goes from being like the mild-mannered, like very reserved school teacher to being the one who knocks, right? And I feel like in Ozark, you don't get that same sort of arc with Jason Bateman's character. It's much more like he's a numbers guy. That is kind of always where his specialty lies. Sometimes he's asked to push beyond that in different areas, but for the most part, he knows how to launder money, how to work the numbers, how to open businesses, and like have all these shell companies. And he does a good job of it. The problem is he's working under the constant stress of his family possibly being killed by a Mexican drug cartel. So, and the FBI breathing down his neck about it. We started this series probably about a month ago. My wife was hooked, and basically every night was like, hey, are we watching more Ozark? Until we got through all 3 seasons. And while I didn't think it was a bad show, I thought it was good. There was definitely episodes I played Animal Crossing through, where I was like, all right, I'll look at while I'm catching sharks and see certain things. The way season 3 ends, the note that it ends on, it's just like a big like wow for me. But I can definitely appreciate the comparisons to Breaking Bad, things like that. If you haven't watched this show, it goes in the recommend column for me. But the thing that I'm really kind of weirded out about is the fact that it's 3 seasons into this show, and I was not tracking it at all.
Really?
I was not like, I hadn't heard people around the office talking about Ozark. I think I vaguely remember like Jason Bateman maybe being nominated or winning like an Emmy, or maybe what's the one that's movies and TV?
Golden Globes.
The Globes, yeah. I think like maybe getting a Golden Globe for like Ozark, but other than that, like I was not tracking this show at all. And so for the fact that it's 3 seasons through and with a potential negotiation for a 4th season, I was just like, it was a realization to me that there is too much content out there. There's too much stuff to where like a show that I would consider a good show, I was completely not even tracking. And either that means I'm becoming very old and disconnected with popular culture, or something else is going on.
No, you're not disconnected. You were just connected to different things. I don't know the terms bop or slaps.
I don't know those terms either.
I don't know those, but Philip Marks just says, I didn't think it was under the radar. Yeah, I don't think it was under the radar either. Man, I don't know how to speak tonight. I had heard about the show since season 1, but I may also be surrounded by people who watch a lot of TV and are quick to be like, "Oh, did you catch the new episode of new insert new show here?
New television show." Yeah.
And so Ozark was one of the ones that I heard about pretty consistently from season 1, and I kept hearing good things. I wanted to watch it, but for some reason, just me in general these days, I have, even the shows I want to watch, I have a hard time putting the time in to sit and watch them. Watchmen, Westworld, two of the ones that I was so excited about when they were going to come out, and then I watched the season 3 premiere of Westworld. No more than that. I just watched the premiere of Watchmen.
Yeah.
And watched 3 episodes of that.
Yeah, which now that you've informed me it is available on Hulu, I will be finishing that series, that season, because I am very impressed with the 1.5 episodes that I got to watch on a free preview weekend, because HBO did a free weekend of just Watchmen, and I was like, oh, I gotta catch this, and then I only got, as much like you said, I only had time really to watch 2 episodes, and then you're like, oh, it's on Hulu, you can watch it whenever, and I was like, okay, well now I feel better about it. But yeah, really outstanding television. Damon Lindelof, who I've been a huge fan of for since Lost,
forever.
Tomorrow. But some of
Damon.
What?
Tomorrowland. That was Damon Lindelof, right?
That was Damon. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Been a fan of his ever since Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland. That was when you really were like, yes, that and the Star Trek movies. Yeah, the way that they're making references to the graphic novel in that show, and the world that they're building, and the references to current culture, just outstanding television, definitely worth watching. So
what I was watching with Chelsea, and she was asking about like the Rorschach masks. She's like, oh, is that the actual Rorschach? Like, no, he died in the movie and in the graphic novel. And then the space squid that exists, right? In explaining that to somebody who had only seen the movie, didn't watch didn't read the graphic novel, and then trying to explain that, like, well, Dr. Manhattan, he's not the threat in the graphic novel. He just kind of gets bored and then he leaves. But Ozymandias creates a giant interdimensional squid and drops it on New York and kills 3 million people. Yes, that's what happens.
yeah, that's how it ends. It's
so what I really like about the show so far, and again, we're only 2-3 episodes in, is that it takes from the graphic novel, and it takes some of the what I'm impressed by is it takes some of the panel aspects of the graphic novel, like some of those kind of meta narrative tropes. I don't know if that's the right word, but the meta narrative kind of methods, like just having the headline in a newspaper in the foreground, or having kind of uh, the uh, the guy who he's in um, The Wire. I think he's Cuddy. Not no, that's not Cuddy. He's a police guy who sets up a hamster dam. Anyways, doesn't matter. He's in the show. He's like a newspaper stand guy, and he's just kind of talking, and they're talking about plot points, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's really cool to me how they kind of integrated those methods.
Yeah, and perfectly references the graphic novel, um, in a natural enough way to kind of be in line with the show. I feel like you could probably appreciate the show without having read the graphic novel, but obviously you're going to pick up on a lot more and appreciate a lot more if you've read the original source material, which is the experiment we will find out about when I watch it with my wife, and and she has definitely not read the graphic novel. So
Has she seen the movie?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
I think I own it. I think I own that movie.
You have the Blu-ray version of it?
Probably do.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just sometimes I put it on put it in my Xbox One, and I put the sex scene on just repeat to Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen.
You got
Just
a weird process there, Brandon.
that's the one that that's the scene that gets critiqued from Watchmen all the time is that.
Yeah, well, understandably and reasonably so.
Yeah. It's it's interesting the Snyder versus I'm getting old. Guardians of the Galaxy guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
They're split career tracks. They're both really into music, right? And Zack Snyder went
James Gunn.
Yeah, thank you. Snyder went one way with his music, maybe like doing it overkill in some ways in some of his movies, and then James Gunn doing it a little bit more organically in his,
Yeah.
where like it's diegetic to the movie, whereas Snyder is just like let's put a random song in here.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Let's have sex now.
Hallelujah. Speaking of movies, have you caught any? I mean, we're not hitting the theaters, in these months gone by. But have you been able to catch any new movies or new to you movies that stood out in the last month or so?
Yeah. Well, I watched last night the Oscar award winning movie Jojo Rabbit, Taika
Ooh,
Waititi.
jealous.
Well, around Oscars time, it may not have been so bad.
Okay.
But watching it last night in the current state of affairs, with with certain people in certain places, saying certain things and being awful people. Not naming any names, but it starts with anyways, watching Jojo Rabbit in that context is like, God, it's bad. It's bad. It's a really good movie, but it's very 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 sad.
Yeah.
So I don't want to talk about it too much. It is good. You should watch it. But I do. Taika Waititi as Adolf Hitler he's really really good, and I don't want to give anything away, but he's very prominent in like all of the the heck is that? He's very prominent in like all the advertisements and stuff like that, but he's not in it as much as you would think he is.
Yeah.
But he makes the most of those appearances and gets better as it goes. So some people are like, no, they're making Hitler look silly instead of what he's supposed to be, and that was a current concern of mine, but it gets better through the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those weird things with certain portrayals of Hitler and things like the producers and things like that, where it, it's, I don't know, it's hard to balance, I guess. The silliness with that. It's, I don't know,
Yeah,
not a great thing, but
it is.
I'm curious to see how he pulls that off.
But what's weird, and Jojo Rabbit is a new movie I watched, but in this day and age, you can't. There's so many movies, even the most innocuous movies that you'd think. There's just stuff in there that it's like, God damn it, this is the place we're in. I watched. Here's the movies I watched. I watched Running Man. We've watched that. Throwback Apathetic Enthusiasm, Running Man with Richard Dawkins, not Dawkins. Yeah. The dude from
Yeah.
Family Feud.
Yeah.
And
that was one of our first Netflix rewatch movies, I think.
Yeah. And then we paired that together with a video game that was coming out, which that died real quick, that video game. But Running Man, post-apocalyptic. Hey, we're getting joy out of watching people suffer. And let's make money off of it. Cool. Oh, let's also have fake news because Richard Kimball is framed for the genocide of the massacre of a crowd of protesters. Okay, now let's go ahead and switch gears. What other movie did I watch? Oh, Demolition Man. I watched Demolition Man, which is a post-apocalyptic future where it's like, Taco Bell won the fast food wars. Okay, cool. There's also a bunch of people that are impoverished and below ground, and they don't get food. And it's awful. Anyways, I'm like, I'm watching movies to just be like, okay, I can't watch what's happening on Twitter anymore. I need to just take a little bit of break. And when I say get off of Twitter, I mean looking at all like the assholes who are in power, and I just like I can't get away. I can't get away from it.
Yeah.
Can't get away from it.
Yeah.
I
I watched a brand new film with my family because they said, "Hey, it's Father's Day. Dad gets to pick the movie." So I made them watch the 1986 film Short Circuit, and one child stuck through to the end. My oldest actually liked it. But much in the same way that you discuss watching old movies through a new lens, was it Steve Guttenberg's his partner in that movie? The overly caricatured Indian character, who is from Pittsburgh, or Glendale. Yeah. My daughter was cracking up at some of his lines, and I'm laughing, but at the same time I'm like, this doesn't hold up. Like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Well, you know that the guy who plays that character, he's the villain in Hackers.
Okay.
Yeah. And I, when I was a kid, full disclosure, I don't know if I've actually seen Short Circuit, but I've seen Short Circuit 2 dozens of times because it was on HBO.
How obscure. Okay.
But that character is the main character of Short Circuit 2. Steve Guttenberg and the woman, they don't come back for the sequel. So it's just that the Indian caricature. And so I didn't realize I'm stupid 7-8-year-old. I didn't realize that he wasn't Indian, and I didn't realize that was an inappropriate thing.
Yeah.
But we talk about lens viewing. I just recorded an episode of S4YA. Submit for your approval today.
Coming back. Look at all these podcasts coming back.
Yeah, Ali Sheedy. Thanks, Sorry Dark. But Twilight Zone, there's an episode called Equality of Mercy, and it's got Dean Stockwell, who plays Al on the Quantum Leap. Okay. and this episode it's in World War II. There's a bunch of soldiers, American soldiers, and there's a bunch of Japanese troops in a cave. And Dean Stockwell comes to this platoon, brand new lieutenant, bright-eyed, clean-shaven, and he's like, we gotta go kill those pejorative people. It's the 60s, and he's calling them, the short version of Japanese, right? The very, very mean one.
Right.
And the troops are like, no, like, what, we don't need to, like, the war's ending soon, we don't need to. And Dean Stockwell's like, no, we got to go kill him. Well, then all of a sudden, because it's a Twilight Zone, he turns into a Japanese soldier, and then the Japanese soldiers are outside the cave, and there's American soldiers inside the cave. And he's like, all of a sudden he's like, no, we shouldn't kill people, we shouldn't kill them just because they're American. And then his commanding officer's like, no, we have to kill him, basically mirroring exactly what Dean Stockwell said earlier. Anyways, the point of this is Dean Stockwell, when he turns into a Japanese soldier, 1961, they don't they don't get a different actor to play him, or they don't keep him just the same. They put him in yellowface, and it's very, it's 2020.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's I understand what they're trying to do, but it's still kind of like, oh, now that's 61 compared to an Indian caricature in 87 or whatever.
86. I looked it up last night because I was like, how old is this movie? And it's also fascinating to me the difference in what a PG movie in 1986 is versus a PG movie in the mid 2000s or 2020.
Yeah.
Very, very different. So watching movies is good. Watching movies is fun. I'm
so I was gonna say, Sire Dark mentions Vasquez, the verbatim, the tough Marine chick in Aliens, a white lady, and she played Eddie Furlong's mom in Terminator 2. Which, look, not saying that she can't be white and also Hispanic. Trust me, I know that you can be both.
You are actually the president of the company.
And the president of the half Hispanics.
Yeah. I told you about this yesterday. Maybe this morning. It's been a long Monday. A theory that I saw on TikTok, actually, that the movie Titanic, a James Cameron film, Jack, the main character played by Leonardo DiCaprio, is a time traveler in that movie, because a bunch of the things that he references like a lake that he used to swim in, which is a man-made lake that wasn't built until like 10 years after the Titanic sank. And then he talks about, some other thing that's after the Titanic, and he smokes filtered cigarettes that didn't exist until after the Titanic sank or whatever. So yeah, there's this theory that he's a time traveler that goes back to save Rose, who ends up being John Connor's grandmother. I mean, if it's expanded universe, Titanic is expanded universe for Terminator. That's what it is.
I know. I love it. It's and maybe you'll see him in Ridley Scott's next Alien prequel movie.
You never know. You never know.
Never know. Had you seen any other movies recently, or Short Circuit?
Yeah, Short Circuit's the big one. No. We've been watching a lot of old stuff in the collection. Really haven't been watching a lot of movies. There's a lot of stuff I want to watch. I think now that we're in the break between Ozark and when I convince Sheena to start Watchmen, I'm gonna try and sneak a bunch of movies in there, because there's a lot of documentaries, a lot of stuff out on Netflix that I want to catch, and stuff that's available now. So yeah.
Champ. So he's a time traveler that's really bad at keeping the fact that he's a time traveler secret.
Exactly. Exactly.
Rose, we need to go. By the way, in 2016, uh,
Invest in Skynet.
invest in Zoom. Okay, Zoom's
Yeah,
gonna come.
Zoom's gonna be huge.
Also, sell American Airlines before January 2020.
Oof.
Um, yeah, let me talk about recommendations. Since you're going to start watching a lot more movies here in the off season between Ozark and whatever, here's a movie I absolutely recommend to you. I know you so well, and we talked about this. I know you so well that I know exactly what movie that you should watch. Download download Shudder and watch Hellraiser 2, Hellbound. You will not. This is your genre in a nutshell.
It's me. It's if I stuck like needles into my head, it'd basically be me.
Yeah, I that the Joe Bob's Last Drive-In, the season finale happened this Friday, so I have more time too on Fridays now. But they showed Hellraiser 2 on there this last weekend. And yeah, I really like the movie. I don't know if I like it more than the first one. And this conversation is really just over your head because you know nothing about it. But
Well, that's the movie about the British military officer Elliot Spencer, who's transformed into the Cenobite Pinhead.
Oh yeah, you don't find that out until the sequel. Yeah. Um, but Doug Bradley and Ashley Lawrence, and they came on Joe Bob's show, and then Joe Bob interviewed them a little bit, and I didn't realize that I like maybe of all the final girls, the final women out there, I think I like Ashley Lawrence. I mean, as just her. I think she's my horror crush officially now, because she's an artist and she's talented and she was nice to listen to, and she was like, you know, clever and smart, and I dig her. So this has been your edition, the first edition of Brandon's who he's attracted to in media.
All right. Brandon's Brandon's pop culture crushes, a new segment on Apathetic Enthusiasm.
Oh, Doug Bradley introduced Cyberdark to a band, Ghost. You have to tell me that story. Not while we're recording a podcast, though.
Yeah, that's what the post show's for, guys. All right, let's move off TV and movies. Let's get into other media formats like video games.
Video games. It's time for the video game section of the show. Time. It's 38:38.
We've done a lot of working from home during this global pandemic, and that means we've been playing more video games. One game that we have both been playing a little bit, some of us more than others, is Minecraft Dungeons, available on Xbox Game Pass for free, which is why we both played it. Yeah. Brandon, thoughts going into this? Did you have high expectations, low expectations?
Low expectations of this conversation, or
Yes, all of the above.
Yeah, we played Minecraft Dungeons this last weekend. Streamed it for a couple hours, an hour and a half or so, and we did what we could to talk about it as we were playing it. And since nobody watched that stream, then it's okay to actually cover it now, not distracted by
mashing the A button over and over again.
Don't mash the button. You can just hold it and then he swings automatically. Mind blown. Okay. When Minecraft Dungeons was announced originally and the trailer showed up, I was like, oh, that could be really fun. Much in the way that like the Telltale Minecraft game came out, and it was something different. Yeah, it was in the Minecraft universe or Minecraft world, whatever you want to call it. But it was an actual game with a story. So I said, yeah, that'd be fun. I look forward to it. Then it came out on Game Pass. Downloaded it. My kid and I we played through the story pretty quickly, and then I was like, oh, okay, well this is basically Diablo Light, the lightest it can be,
Yeah,
and
very, very light.
I didn't have any games to play yet. I was going through a transition where I'm like, I don't really know what to do with my time. You know what? This is very, very mindless. I don't have to do anything. I just basically mash the A button and go through these things and level up. So I got to level like 44 or something like that, and then kind of got burnt out from it. And then that's when you come in.
Well, yeah, because I was playing it a little. I played it like up to level like 5 or 6 with my daughter, and then she was like, "Man, whatever." She wasn't wowed about it, and I was like, it's all right." And then you were like, I'm at like level 20. I think I'm 20 level 25. Just play up to level 25, and then we'll be the same level, and then we can play together. And I said,
I did
okay,
say
that's
that.
that's fine. So I played like for a whole week, just grinding. I'm like, I'm gonna catch up to Brandon, and then we're gonna play. We're gonna stream. It's gonna be great. And then the day before we were gonna stream, I said, yeah, I think I'm level 21. I should be pretty close. I can probably get to your level in another day. And you said, hold on, let me check exactly what level I am. And then you said I'm level 44 or something. And I was like, yeah, there's no way that I am going to match you. But let's stream it anyway. Let's try it out. Mindless is definitely. I don't think it's a bad game. I think the levels are constructed pretty well. All of the characters are familiar if you've ever played any Minecraft. Most of the mobs and things are stuff you'll recognize. Definitely great for families if you want to play a dungeon crawler type game. I think this is something you could play with younger kids and not be an issue. But yeah, I played through the main campaign, and I legit wasn't sure if there was anything that would bring me back into the game until we discovered the area where you can turn in runes. And now I kind of want to go look through everything and find all these hidden runes and unlock some other secrets and things like that. But it probably won't happen because of another game, which we'll get to in just a moment. And that's yeah, let's just talk about it now. No Man's Sky, also a recent release for Xbox Game Pass. Also recently announced cross-platform play, which is a huge bonus because I had already purchased this game on Steam a while ago, and I was not an early adopter, not a person that jumped into No Man's Sky at the beginning when the hype was high and the returns were low. But the No Man's Sky has one of those greatest redemption stories in video games where it was just universally panned for being a bad game, but the developers stuck with it. They added a lot of things. They took a lot of feedback from the users, and now the ratings on Steam are very high. And so if you look at like recent reviews, they're terrific, but overall it's still a low-rated game. What were your initial thoughts after downloading it and trying it out?
Well, when the game was announced, I thought, oh, that sounds really that sounds cool. That sounds like a fun game to be on a planet, to explore, then go up into space and explore other places. And when it came out, and all the reviews panned it, and people are like, this game is not great. Then I said, oh, good thing I didn't buy a PS4 just for that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I kind of tangentially been aware of its progress over time, and people said, no, it's actually a pretty good game now. and it kept getting improvements, kept getting patches, kept getting content added to it. And so when it came out to Game Pass, and I thought about buying it a couple times over the last year and a half or so, but I don't know if I want to spend my money on that or waste my time with it. So Game Pass, me and size mode, Aaron, and then our friend Jimmy, like we're always looking for games to play, and we've been playing GTA 5 and Red Dead 2 and Rocket League, and they're really stuck on Friday the 13th, the game, uh, Sea of Thieves, those things. Like we need something else. We need something else to play because everyone is kind of we're not having anything to play anymore. No Man's Sky comes out. Me and Matt are early adopters to it. I'm like, yeah, let's try it out. And the first thing I realized was I spend like an hour and a half or so in it by myself and confused by the interface and just how much information is coming at you at once, which I'm still figuring out some stuff. And like this is basically a cooler version, and I've said this before, a cooler version of Astroneer. And I said that to you, and you scoffed at me at
Kind of
first.
went, whoa, hold on. It's definitely a better graphics, I guess. I don't even know if it's better. It's just a different style. I mean, it's definitely it's more realistic.
That's what you said at first.
That's what I said at first.
Yeah. And then I played more, and then I learned how to crash economies to make a lot of money. And
I'm definitely not that far into the game yet.
no, you are. It's very, very easy to do so. Anyway, have you found the anomaly yet? You haven't found the anomaly yet.
Maybe, is that the weird like pyramid thing?
Yeah, like you can summon it. It's like just a giant sphere.
Nope.
It's a space station thing. Okay, all right.
I'm probably close to that.
Yeah. Anyway, regardless, you land on planets. You identify stuff. This is the thing that me and Matt noticed was you can follow the story, basically the narrative throughout the game pretty closely, and you can have a very similar experience. But there's like personalized stories that like the things that I am looking for out of the game, I can go and I can do, and I can make my own kind of narrative that's split off from the game's narrative.
Yeah.
Finding random stuff and getting it that way. And Matt had a different experience with the game, with the direction that he was going with it. And then when we're both playing at the same time, we're coming together and we're creating our own stories. And now you're there with cross-platform. Now we're able to start doing that too. And that's what to me that's kind of what Astroneer was missing. That space travel aspect of it. Like you could space travel in Astroneer, but it wasn't as, I guess, it didn't feel like you were free, like you were exploring the frontier. It felt like you were really just you were a victim of being stuck on this planet. You couldn't go very far.
Yeah.
Without 50 hours worth of gameplay.
And I find that the time that I've spent in the game goes up very quickly without me realizing it. And when I loaded the game up today to play for a little bit, I was like, wow, I've added 3 hours to my gameplay in a couple days. Wow, that's and that's very light. Like that's spending time with family and doing other things. Like so yeah, it is interesting. There's a base building aspect to it that I have gravitated toward very quickly that I don't know if you guys are even I think when we were playing size mode was like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna like delete my base. I don't think I need it. Like he's like I don't want any of this stuff in here or something. Like I'd never use it. And while he's saying that in voice chat, I'm like diligently like building my base and leveling the land around it. And I was like, oh, that's interesting because I'm all about it. And then of course I do that on his planet in a star system that is nowhere near my origin star system. So then when I go to play single player, all of that base is inaccessible to me, and I completely had to restart. But those are my problems.
That part is odd to me because I'm pretty sure I can get to like Jimmy's. Like I have a base on one of Jimmy's planets, and I'm pretty sure I can get there if I go. Well, I think that's the thing is you haven't found the anomaly yet, and I think maybe there's a different portal that you go through there that you can get to all of your bases everywhere. So I think maybe that's the problem. But yeah, like I set up bases wherever I go, but I only like set up the base computer and claim some land, and that way, when I go to a different system, I can teleport back to that base eventually.
Yeah.
If I ever need to like get if I know that there's something in that system that I want, I can go to a space station, teleport back there. Um, but as far as like building a base and building corridors and uh, doing all that fancy stuff only to pass missions um, uh, or if it's like build 6 rooms, then I'm like, okay, I'll build 6 rooms and finish this mission. But I'm not good at design in that way. I've
Right.
never been I'm never been good at doing stuff like that.
Which is why we were so vastly different in our Minecraft days, and in how we put things together. Yeah.
Yeah. Sardark asked this question. Do we have a specific map or online game area that you're just fond of existing in? I'm not. I don't fully maybe grasp what that question is asking.
I think it's to a degree of like you don't necessarily have to even be doing stuff like fulfilling missions or like just being in the game and like almost like just existing in it. For me, for a long time, years, that was Minecraft. I mean, this is almost a decade ago, but Minecraft was the only game I played, and I had a local server with friends, and like that was it. Like that was the second life, the other world for me that I just really enjoyed until I got I did so much in it and that it kind of like I don't know. I built a really big event for my friends and we played through it, and after that like the game was just I don't know. The game moved in a different direction than I was moving in, and I felt like I just it that server itself like felt like a home to me. But I don't know that I've gotten that same sort of sense in any other games or I guess Animal Crossing. I mean, I wasn't going to bring it up, but there's a lot of times when I'll just load up Animal Crossing and just kind of cruise around the island, see how the flowers are doing, maybe do some fishing. But yeah. I've beaten the core part of the game, and I've fully upgraded my house. I can really shoot for 5 stars on my island, but I'm not like powering through to try and hit that achievement. So I'm kind of just like I'm just there. I'm seeing what's new in the shop, talking to some neighbors, and just kind of existing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of games that would be like that, I guess. Like because the games you're talking about that you feel like you kind of just exist in are games that have heavy customization and heavy ways that you can manipulate and shape the world to what you want it to be like. If you took my camera and you looked and you browsed around my podcast room, you'd be like, that is a fucking pigsty. It is trash, right? And that's I feel like that's how a lot of my my house like I'm not good at that stuff unless I put really heavy effort into it. So those games I don't feel like I just like exist in. But I also don't necessarily feel like I just coast through any kind of world like I really want to hang out with. except for, I guess, the closest thing to be would be um like maybe World of Warcraft, when I played World of Warcraft a lot. And not in because I knew where everything was. I could go from the Barrens. I can, I I could go to the portal. Like I could do all this stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just hanging out. I'm hanging out. I'm just gonna go pick some herbs from the from the mountainside. But I also had, when I was part of like a guild, right? Then I could be talking to those people in the chat and
Yeah.
like hanging out with people. And there was an actual world, and I was being social. Video games now, I don't, if I'm not playing with you or I'm not playing with Matt, Aaron, Jimmy, then I'm I'm just I'm in my house on my couch playing a game. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree. And I think the social aspect for gaming is huge to me, and like most of the games that I'm playing, I want to play with friends because it's an opportunity for us to hang out, other than podcasting. Um, and otherwise, I mean, I still like single player games, and um, there's games like that I really enjoy, but those end up being um, those end up being more like mobile games or things on the Switch or things like that where um, I don't know, like I don't I've there's a multiplayer aspect to No Man's Sky, but I'm kind of powering through parts of that just to unlock everything so that I can travel and
yeah,
so that when we play together, then I can actually get around and do those sorts of things with you guys. But
yeah.
yeah,
I will say this about No Man's Sky with this with the cross platform, like that opens up a lot of stuff, right? I feel maybe this immersion that Sardark is referencing. I think there's a piece of that in No Man's Sky where, yes, I'm not aesthetically the best structure base creator, but in the same way that in our real lives we are different people, but we're still hanging out when we're still close friends. That's No Man's Sky has that aspect of it where I could be doing my thing on my own. I just be uh, um, talking to one alien for 7 hours to learn a fake alien language, and you could be building a base for that same 7 hours, but we're
yeah,
doing it together and we're still hanging out and
yeah.
being uh, yeah, maybe this is the closest thing since World of Warcraft or Terraria. Terraria is close too.
There you go. AKA Minecraft. Quick shout out to NBA 2K20, which got me through several weeks of quarantine.
Yeah,
The my career mode. Never since 2K20 have I really played a 2K game for more than a week. I think I like rented one on GameFly or something back. Remember that service, GameFly?
yeah. I remember.
Um, yeah. So I'm not particularly great at sports games, but I think I'm really missing like NBA basketball also. So it was one of those things where when that became available on Game Pass, I was like, I'm gonna play this for a while, and then I got hooked, and I was like trying to power through my rookie season and things like that. So I don't know. And then I haven't played it in like a week and a half. So it's I go through fits and starts with games.
Fits and starts.
Um,
Speaking of fits and starts with games, we're coming back. We're coming back with D&D. We're
Dungeons and Dragons.
finally
Yes.
getting back in the flow of it. We're hitting up an hour here on the show right now, so I don't necessarily want to talk too much about it.
What I'd like to do is just mention that we have been playing D&D pretty much since we started with a core group of 4 people. One of us being the DM, and then the other 3 playing different characters. And that's sort of been what our parties have looked like. We've had, one person come in and out, but for the most part, haven't really changed that up. But your brother-in-law and his wife are, they're going to be playing with us in a one-shot that you are running. we're not going to stream this or anything, guys, so don't get your hopes up on that. But I am very curious how that gameplay will go and how the game will feel different. Obviously, it'll be a new experience for them with their first time playing, but also just what different perspectives and expectations will bring to the virtual table. So in our next episode, I definitely think we'll talk a little bit about that, and so expect some more D&D conversation in the next episode. If you're into the D&D content, you want to make sure you don't miss that. Another thing coming up next week, we are guesting. We are guests on another podcast that they reached out to us, the What's the Difference podcast. So we don't know exactly what their release schedule looks like, but they're having us on that podcast. Going to talk a little Rick and Morty, talk a little differences across the pond, I guess. And
that's right. Yeah, it's you saying what's the difference between what? Yeah, the conceit of the podcast is a gentleman here in the U.S., a gentleman in the U.K., and they talk about the differences between that. So we're talking specifically Rick and Morty for the show, and excited about it. They reached out to us, like you said, Travis, and I don't know the last time that you and I were both guests on a different podcast.
It was probably managed or operated by Blazing Caribou. Is probably.
Oh, did you do Trivia Geeks? You never did Trivia Geeks.
I don't know if I did Trivia Geeks. I did some episode, something with you on there. Maybe what?
Brokebot Mountain, was it that?
Brokebot Mountain, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was definitely it. And then other than that, we did do a guest spot on. Oh, I'm blanking on the name. The young lady from across the pond who was doing like a marathon podcast stream.
Yeah. Apologies for it was a long time because it was for that charity. It's been a long time since we've done a joint guest thing. Usually I'm going out there and being like, please listen to a show. You don't have to.
You don't have to. Don't listen to. Actually, don't. Please don't listen to our show.
I just want to talk. You don't. I'm just on a different show and forcing you to listen to me.
Yeah. But hey, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for, being subscribed to this podcast. You're in a very elite group, and for those of you that listen, for those of you that subscribe, we appreciate it. We appreciate your feedback. For those of you that watch live, well, you the real MVPs,
right.
and we're gonna stick around and hang out for a little after show time, where we talk directly with you guys and answer your questions, things like that. If you want to catch any of the after shows, maybe you missed a live appearance, make sure you head over to youtube.com/apatheticenthusiasm. All of our episodes are out there, and you can just kind of fast forward towards the end if you want to catch those post show hangouts. But we're gonna go do that right now. Thank you guys so much for listening, and until next week, I'm Travis.
And I am Brandon, and thank you so much, my friends, for listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, this is your true test of commitment. We're gonna pay some bills. See you in 60 seconds.
Except for the people who are subscribed or on YouTube.
Yeah, if you're subscribed or on YouTube, man, you guys rock. I mean, if you're on YouTube, you rock. You just you rock your way out of seeing a Twitch ad, which is fine. It's fine. I mean,
there are some pretty good Twitch ads out there.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a product that you didn't know that you needed that's on a Twitch ad, and you're like, you'll never know.
I should start finding like really weird commercials or something to play. I don't know,
Oh,
Something to put on just for the YouTube watchers.
for our YouTube folks. Yeah.
Coming
Well,
back in 10 seconds, Brandon.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. Okay. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You asked for it. Here it is. It's a podcast.
Just kidding.
It's just us again. It's just us again.
It's just-
And we're just talking. We're hanging out with you. Let us know if there's any of those discussions that you guys want to talk more about,
Yeah.
or we kind of brushed over anything.
You want to put some more? You want to make us talk some more? Yeah. Let's talk about gamer Netflix game.
Oh, I wanted to talk board games, and we just didn't have time this week. But Philip Mark's asking if either of us have played the old dungeon crawling board game Dragon Quest. Have you played that?
Negative. I've never played that game. We did buy some kind of dragon game recently, for the family to play, but we haven't played it yet. So,
Dragon board game?
yeah, it's like I can go grab it. If
Dungeons and Dragons.
There's a game called Labyrinth back in the day. It was like all squares, and you modify the labyrinth for the path. You're trying to get the treasure. I like that one.
We definitely do not get $10 per viewer, John. That is not the case. But it came with a VHS to set the story up. Now that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, now you've got my interest peaked. Dragon Quest.
Whatever this game is, it's no Fireball Island. I'm just saying, Fireball Island was the shit. I don't even remember playing it. I just remember always being on the bridge and getting knocked into the river from that stupid Fireball Island.
This is interesting. It's got like a weird, like kind of 3D grid map. Looks like they were really capitalizing on, capitalizing on some D&D stuff, maybe. That's interesting. I might have to look up. I wonder if there's YouTube videos of the way that it sets the story up. 1992. That's not that old school, man. That just makes me feel old. Anyway,
you're what, like you're like 2, 3 at that point
in 92. Yeah, Brandon. Yep.
I'm trying to make you feel good about your youthful looks.
My advanced age. I will say I bought a game in the old quarantine for my family to play. It is dungeon based. It's called 5 Minute Dungeon, and this is a card game where you have different bosses that you have to beat. I think there's 5 bosses in the core game, and it is a speed card game. So you have 5 minutes to complete the round and beat the boss. So each boss has a certain number of door cards that you have to get through to get to the boss, and all of them have symbols or different things. And so each player gets to pick a character that has different specialties and things like that, and they all have their individual decks, and everybody is playing at the same time trying to match the symbols on these door cards to try and get through them as quickly as possible to get to the boss and try to beat it. I was really interested in the game, but I was like, I don't know if my family's going to be super hyped on this. And when I brought it home, like, everybody loved it. Like, my 8-year-old, 10-year-old were wanting to play it constantly. My 10-year-old was trying to figure out a way to play it by himself. Like, and they have an app where you can download the dungeon timer, so that they have like different characters that will kind of give commentary and stuff. So they have like an epic voice and a spooky voice and a scared voice and things like that. But really interesting gameplay mechanic. And I don't know. It's
what is Philip Marks asks what the minimum number of players is.
Minimum is 2 players.
Okay.
If you play with 2 players, each player has 2 decks. So you end up playing with 4 players worth of cards. And then there are these like mini bosses that you put in 2 of those cards. They're called event cards. You put in 2 of those for each person playing. So it ends up actually increasing the deck quite a bit. Like if you get a full 5 people playing, I think it's either 5 or 6 is the max on it. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Each character has special abilities, so you could like defeat an obstacle instantaneously or defeat a monster, things like that, just by discarding like your hand into your personal discard pile. I don't know. There's a lot of variety to it. And
Now it says that there's a finite time in the title of the game. Is it a very hectic game?
yes, it kind of is. Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's okay. I'll let you talk.
Well, and that's one of the things that my oldest, Allie, she didn't like the idea of playing period because she doesn't like high stress games where you feel like you have to like be scrambling to do things.
Yeah, right.
The cooperative aspect of it though is kind of nice because if you have some players that are kind of slow to react or things like that, you're not playing against the other people. Everybody's cooperatively playing against, the deck in the middle. So you can help each other out. And if, you get stuck, you can be like, oh, hey, you can, your power defeats a monster. Just discard those cards. And so you can kind of coach each other. So long as you can do that in a constructive way and not in an,
Sure.
in a rude way.
Because that the hectic piece is my concern. I'm not a huge fan of, especially with card games. I'm not a huge fan of playing as quickly as you can, because I'm very deliberate in all the things I want to do in the game I play. Like I want to be able to plan them out. That's why I like chess a lot. Like I didn't do my daily chess challenges today, for example, and and my kid is like that as well. He doesn't do well if we're like, no, hurry, come on. He's like, oh, he like shuts down.
Yeah.
For example, we bought him a new bike because I'm behind the power curve here. He finally learned how to ride a bike without training wheels, but I still don't fully trust him to ride the bike on his own, right? And the street that we live on isn't, he's on the sidewalks and the streets are very narrow and people park on the streets, and I don't fully trust him not to get hit by a car, whether it's a driveway or on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And so yesterday I told him, okay, ride your bike just down the sidewalk, turn onto the street at that car up there, that blue car up there, and then ride back on the street. And he started riding. He was doing fine. He was about to turn onto the street. He was getting close to the where I told him to turn, and there was a car coming from behind him. And so we're like, stop. And he didn't stop. He kept going. And then he got across the street onto the other sidewalk and started riding back. And then he just stopped. But when he got to the other sidewalk, we're like, no, keep going. Now keep going. You're good now, keep going. And then he stopped. And then he just sat there and cried. Because he doesn't do well with that, like, oh no, that like sudden pressure.
Yeah.
And he's never been good at that.
So maybe not the game for you guys.
Right. Exactly. We're like, come on, we only have 20 seconds left. He was just shut down.
He's like, I'm not playing. I'm done. Take my cards. I'm out of the game. Yeah, we actually have.
Let me just for example, have you ever played Geometry Wars?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So Saturday, I put on. He wanted to play a game, and so I downloaded Geometry Wars 3, and I'm like, well, this has co-op. Let's do it. And I I just finished saying like I don't necessarily like hectic games, but for some reason I love Geometry Wars. I love the dual stick because it's like I know I'm gonna die. It's not a matter of like
Yeah,
if I'm gonna die. It's
it's
how
win.
far I can
Yeah.
get. And I was making him play with me for like 30 minutes, and he's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
This is torture, father.
Like, no, this is fun. This is Father's Day weekend. I get to do whatever I want. We're gonna play this all.
Suffer through this. Uh, w- my my wife has been buying a lot of board games or like family games, and her opinion of what is a good game to purchase is very different than mine.
Okay.
Not that I don't enjoy the games that she purchases, but she's been getting a lot of like card games and like family type card games. Um, we got a game called Sleeping Queens that the kids really liked. Mario, oh, what is it? Mario Rush or something?
Okay.
Or
I've
not
seen.
Mario, not Mario. Monopoly Dash, I think is what it's called or something.
Huh.
It's a card game, but that game is really fun, especially if you like Monopoly. It's not a high paced game, but you're collecting properties. There's
Yeah.
cards with properties on them, and then like
I've
you
I've
bank money.
I've heard good things about that game.
That one was a lot of fun. But then she's been getting a lot of. She got a game called Blockus. This
Yeah. Hmm.
where they kind of look like Tetris pieces, and you're trying to take over parts of the map. That has a strategy element to it that I'm really into. Where I'm like, oh, if you go this way, I can move my pieces in through here and stuff like that. And then just a couple other card games. High Low Flip was kind of like it was okay. It's kind of Uno esque.
Hmm.
But yeah, lots of games coming through this house. As everyone is still at home for the most part and trying to find different ways to entertain ourselves.
Indicative of him being a cruise, my kid wants to play Risk. He wants to learn how to play Risk, which, as an 8-year-old, Risk might be a little, maybe a little much for him right now. But we did buy Risk Junior, so we get to test out his skills there. But I like I, I like King of Tokyo, Catan, uh, Ticket to Ride, Pandemic. Games with uh, that are complicated in a certain way, and you can't have strategy. There is, of course, a little bit of luck involved in it,
Yeah,
but you can still win uh, based off of being able to think about kind of future plans, which is interesting about like Catan, right? And this isn't a segue for me to say that I've won all the games we've played online so far.
both. The term is both the games.
Yeah, yeah. We played two. That that's all the games I've won. I've won all
Downbeat. I'm sorry. Just remarking.
Anyways, that wasn't the point. The point was
We should get
that
Champ in a game with us.
we should. Um, but like I have like a general outline of what I want to do in a game of Catan. One is I know I always want to get longest road, which Champ is always fighting with me on
Always
that.
fighting for that road.
But then beyond that, I'm like, okay, let's see what let's let's see what the cards have in store for me. Okay, let me. I know kind of a general outline of the strategy I want, but you can't forward think too much because of the luck of the dice. Kind of makes you have to modify your approach to things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Catan Catan is a game that I adjust my strategy based on who's at the table and like what my like from the time those initial placements go in, I'm adjusting my strategy. So I definitely don't like always go in with like I'm gonna get longest road, I'm gonna do this. Like if I'm in a place where I'm getting a lot of like wood and brick, yeah, like let's start jamming out roads. But I approached Sellers of Catan with no plan at all. Yeah, that makes sense.
I can tell because you
Yeah,
always
because you take forever on your turns, John.
He does. Oh, geez, John, forever, forever, forever. No, that's, geez, forever. Yeah. I don't. I mean, just forever. That's how long. That's
Forever. If if
We-
if,
we-
if 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 it was John's turn, if John was starting his turn right now, we will let you know when he finishes his turn.
yeah. Start the
Start the clock.
for those listening. Start it up, and we'll let you know when John's turn is up.
So anyway, the War of 1812 began. No.
Okay.
Yeah. What are we
Now-
talking about? We're talking about board games. Oh, so yeah, I think there's a sweet spot for me with board games where I don't want it to be super basic. I want it to be a little bit more complicated if there's like story elements or if it takes more than 10 minutes to set up, like I'm like, okay, yeah, now we're talking. But then there's like an upper limit. And I walk around the local game store and I'm like, that game costs $75 and it comes in 2 boxes.
Barrier to entry.
The book, the instruction manual has 58 pages. I don't think this is something my family's going to be super stoked to play. And unfortunately, like that's mostly who's around to play board games with me these days. We had a good crew way back in the day, and we could play. We wasted most of that time on Settlers of Catan, but we had a good crew, and I have events where I can get certain games going, but yeah, I don't know that I'm like. Axis and Allies, like that might. That's a long game. And
It is. You played it with us over at your neighbor house's house? Yeah.
One and only time.
One and only time. I liked it. I think it took longer to set up than it did to actually play it.
Yeah.
Going like when we went to other realms in Hawaii, I'd walk through there and I'd look at all the games and I'd say, I would like to play all of these games. But one, it's basically like once you and Sheena moved away, then like, okay, so now it's me, Chelsea, and a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. Okay, well, he's too young for that.
Yep.
Who am I going to play this with? Chelsea doesn't really want to play these types of games either. Okay, well then I'm not going to waste $60 to $70 on a game. But I look at them and I want to. But even if I had somebody to play with, I also don't want to spend money on a game that I may not like and I may not ever want to go back to.
Have I told you about the place that is in downtown-ish Omaha? I'm trying to remember the name. Spielbound is the name of the place. It is a board game cafe.
Ooh.
Where they don't serve food. I think they serve like drinks and coffee and stuff. But they have like an entire wall, or like even like some like rows of board games, and you just go grab one and you play. And I don't know if they have like a cover or like a paid like time. Like I don't think you pay. You might pay by the time or whatever. But that to me is a great opportunity. And then the local game shop where I buy some of my games and most of my D&D stuff. They have a lot of like sample games where they're like, oh, you want to try it out here? Yeah, like, and then occasionally, pre-COVID anyway, there were people hanging out and they like, even the guys working there would be like, oh yeah, let me, I'll play this with you guys, and which seems like a great gig and maybe a retirement plan for me. Like, let's just open a game store and then you just, I don't know, serve
Yeah,
coffee or whatever.
alcohol. No, I think uh, those listening, you're going to steal this idea because it's a great idea, and there has to be places out there like this where it's a bar slash gaming place, and you like drinks are kind of tailored towards like specific games, like pair this game with this wine or this mixed drink, right? Uh, and I think that would be so cool to do. Maybe cool because I'm a nerd, but I think that'd be a pretty cool, a good idea. Uh, but I will say, as an introvert, uh, I don't know if like sitting down and playing random games with people I don't know is in me necessarily to want to do that, because I know how hard it is to explain things to people. Even with a game, I when I was telling Robert and Lauren about D&D and trying to explain it, I'm like, oh, I'm messing this up.
I will say, like, because I definitely have those same. I have tendencies towards introversion, but then I can kind of get over some of them quickly. And uh, it was very interesting to me when I went to the game store. I think my family was across the street at like the urgent care or something, and I was like, I gotta kill like a half hour, and so I was like, what am I? Oh, I'll just go over to the game store. I'll just go wander around. I'll look at the D&D books or something, and yeah, I can kill some time in there. So I go in, and I'm honest, and so the guy's like, hey, can I help you find anything? I was like, I'm just kind of killing time, looking around. He's like, oh, well, we just started this game over here. You wanna sit in? And I couldn't have been like, no, I'm busy, like, because I just told you I'm just here to kill time. So I sat down and played. It's a game I'd played before. It's the one where you have all those like abstract, like
Yeah.
paintings.
Mysterium.
Is it Mysterium?
Mysterium is the game I have where like you're the story is you're in like a haunted house and you're trying to
No. So
oh,
this is one where like you have like a word or something, and then everybody puts down a card that they have that they
oh,
feel matches like a word or something.
yeah, we have that game too, I think.
And
I
then
forget
you
what it's called.
try to guess which ones, and you get points based on whose cards get voted on or whatever and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
the game board is uh like it goes up and down, and
Yeah,
like you have like
yeah.
your little colored pieces.
Scrabble, that's it. Thanks, champ. But yeah, it is weird, kind of sitting down with three strangers, and playing a game. But it's also interesting how games bring people together, and you have
Yeah.
a central, focus, and then it suddenly makes it easier to talk and get to know other people and stuff like that. So
When we started the show in the very first convention we went to, I did day one by myself, and I, that's when I realized that I'm bad at doing things on my own. But I walked around the game room at the convention by myself for a while, and I was like looking at games, walking back and forth, and eventually, dude, I was looking at one game, just watching, and the guy's like, "Hey, we're about to start. Do you want to play?" Uh, can't say no, right? Like, no, I'm
no, I'm
good.
not interested. As you're like taking notes about the game.
Yeah, 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 sure. So then I sat down and a group of 8 or so folks, and it was like it was like an old school. It was a game that made it like an old school like text based adventure. You had a DM, and really this is like my first experience with like what a DM would be. But the DM is acting like a computer, and then each person has to do a single command like you would do for an old text-based types of game. So like the DM computer would say you walk into a forest and your exits are west and north. and then it would go to the next person. The next person would say north, and then the DM would be like, you go north, and then you see this, blah 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 blah, and you see a tree. Next person says climb tree, and then like, oh,
Like,
okay, all right.
sorry, we do not recognize climb. Please,
Yeah.
please
Oh,
select from the following options.
yeah. He would do that. He would do that. So I thought that was a kind of cool game. And then there's like some other space game I ended up playing there as well. But the thing about those is I got pulled in. I got asked to come into those things. I wouldn't have inserted myself into a group to be like, I want to. This looks interesting. Let me play this. But anyway,
Another comment from the very vocal Champ is him saying, where is it? Something to the effect of that Sheena should play D&D with us.
Yeah.
Sheena should
Good.
play D&D with us, Travis. It's the original board game.
Good luck.
So how do we make that happen? Because I will tell you, this was almost a year ago now. I think it was my birthday, and I was like, here's my eldest child was interested in D&D, was wanting to play, and I was like, you know what, for my birthday, here's what I want. I want to play D&D with my wife and my oldest kid. I will DM the session. And she was just kind of like, all right, I'll do this, whatever. But she was not into it, and she was not hyped. So what I feel like we need to have some sort of deal where we play like with a group over the internet, like we usually play, but get them involved. Even like get Chelsea in on it. Let's make this happen, and they can hate it, but at least then they'll get it, right?
If they are together, then they would have fun. What I did to kind of help Chelsea understand D&D a little bit more, which wasn't completely accurate, and she loses a lot of it because I simplified it so much. The three of us were at like a food court, and they were asking about it. And so I said, it's just like it's creating stories, and then there's some rules behind it, but you can basically do lots of things that you want. And so I just had like a very basic story where the kid was an elf, she was an orc warrior. Like a wizard comes and attacks you. What do you do? And they're like, I dodge it and I throw a sword at him. Okay, you do that. I'm pretending to roll dice. Oh, you miss. Like very, 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 very simple, so they can understand the basics of it. Um, but Chelsea really liked that. She's like, okay, I get that. Like that sounds really fun. Like it'd be good for our nephew who's very energetic and he wants to tell stories.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's not accounting for how many rules there actually are behind the scenes for a lot of that stuff and how much work goes into trying to make it effortless.
Yeah, but those are only important if you play by those rules.
That's true. Champs here. We can talk about money. I do want to answer Philip's question here. Have you guys ever played Dominion deck building game? I'm not sure if you have. I have played it once with one of my old friends. It was fun. I did like it. I would have loved to have played it again at some point in time, but he moved away, and then I don't own it, and that's not the type of game that Chelsea would want to play. So I never went further with it.
Yeah. So you want to talk about money? No.
No, I want to talk about weird sex stuff in games of D&D with random strangers.
You mean like how the one time I tried to play a female character in a D&D session, John immediately was like hitting on me?
Yeah, creepy, so creepy.
Creepy,
Or
John.
like when when the character who's trying to urgently save his brother's life walks in on my Goliath, just gigantic dong.
Yeah, that might have happened in a recent game. That could have happened. Whoa.
Gigantic dong. Yeah, that's that. I mean, that's kind of what happened, John. Gigantic dong. But we don't need it. We don't need to talk about that anymore.
No. You know what we could do?
What's that?
We could play Catan.
Oh man.
Unless you can't. Unless you gotta go. Unless you got places to be.
No, I can, but I need to go talk to some folks from work. Yeah.
All right. Well, do you want to come back? Do you want to take a break? I mean, I can get it set up. I can get ready if you want.
I mean, I can come back. Yeah, I mean, I'll be back.
Okay, he's coming back, guys. He's coming back. But that's going to require you guys to stick around so that we can get a game started. We're gonna play Colonist, colonist.io. So let's get a game going. Maybe I should get you in the game first, Brandon, before you leave.
Oh yeah, maybe you should do that.
Yeah.
All right.
And create a private game. I'm gonna copy the code. Send it to you.
All right. I will do that before you go
talk about things.
Taco Bell.
You know, this is a trend with us. I had to take him into work calls the other night when we were streaming. Man. Okay. What? That's not what happened. The DM made me hit on your female character, and you're against it. What are you playing? We're playing colonist.io. So let me go ahead and post. I'm gonna post the link. There are 2 spots available. So if you click on that link, you will enter into the game, and then as soon as Brandon gets back, we will go ahead and play Settlers of Catan, the free IO version. So yeah, if you want to play with us, go ahead and click on that link and
check it out.
Get readied up. Brandon, fly, you fools.
Check it out. I mean, I'm not going off camera. I'm just checking.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought you were actually like leaving. Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, good. How many victory points do you want to play
Let's
to?
do 7. Let's do 7.
7. Nice, easy game. Nice and easy. We're gonna bring up our game night view here. All right, come on, John. You got to get in on this, bro. Got to do it. He's like, I'm still teleworking. I'm not allowed to play video games. That's late. It's late there in Japan, where you live.
Who's that?
John.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. I'll go off camera.
Okay, bye.
Hey.
Boom. It's a giant bee. He's a giant bee now, guys. All right. We got Lila in the game. Maybe that's John. Maybe it's not. Let us know in the chat if that's you. Hello. Oh, this is John. Okay, John is in. Room for one more. Room for one more player. Maybe don't ready up, John. And there you go. There you figured it out. Champy's good to go. Good job. And yeah, let's go ahead and bring up the actual screen here. So this is the lobby. As we're getting set up. So yeah, what else is going on, you guys? Any other big plans coming up? This looks like Settlers. Yes, John. We are playing Settlers. That's what the game is. And as promised, John's turn still isn't over. So this is going to be a long game playing with John. I'm also curious, Brandon, did you always play with the red tokens when we played as a group?
No, I always tried to be blue.
Yeah, but I always took blue.
Yeah, I'll be green. Done.
Well, I'm ready. Nobody else wants to jump in here.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
So we'll go 3 players with John. Game starting. There we go.
Oh no, where'd the game go? Oh, I lost the game. Oh, there it is. Ha, classic. Ha.
And I just gotta adjust this a little bit so that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I did. I put an image up so that you couldn't see my cards. So there we go. There's that. And now we've got a game. Whose turn is it? Is it my turn? No, the game setting up.
Game is setting up. Yeah. The game's not set up yet. It is in the process of setting up.
Oh, Champy with the first turn. Oh, does that mean I'm last?
Oh, it does. Oh, crap. I didn't even look at the board yet. Oh, that's a good setup, Champy.
Perfect
Champy.
setup.
Perfect setup. Ooh. I think I want to go to here. Whoop. Click. Okay. And go here.
Ding. That means it's my turn. That's an option.
You have any music playing, or do I need to get some?
I don't have. You got to get that. You got to get that royalty free jams.
I'm on it.
All right. So big thoughts here on where to play. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna go this way, and then I'm gonna go oof. Oh, it's all the way down there.
Okay, here we go.
Oh. There we go. Little background music for us.
Yeah, there we go.
You think that's a spot right there? I think that. Yeah, and we're gonna go this way. All right, back to you, Brandon.
Back to me. I just have to find out where that game was again. Oh, damn it! I lost the window.
Did you lose the game? This is your jam? I didn't know that.
I don't know where that window went.
I should update the stream info, but that won't work so well because it's in a different tab, you guys. This is a tab. Maybe I can pull this out over here. Boom.
Okay, it's not there. None of those are it. I'm going to close all these windows. Thanks for bearing with me.
Did you know that Colonist is a game that's in Twitch that you can be playing?
What is it?
Yeah.
Where the fuck did this window go? That's frustrating.
You lost the game? Can you just join it again?
No, it's the game isn't gone. I didn't close that.
Are you? Oh, you're like a computer now. It's playing for you.
So it did. So it must have did kick me. Oh, reconnect. Here we go. Stupid thing. All right. Oh no! It put me in a shitty place.
You're back. So now you just gotta connect those roads, bud.
It sucks.
Do you want to start a new game? I don't know. Like
that sucks. No, this is fine. I'll deal with it.
Okay, he's gonna deal with it, you guys.
Is it my turn?
Oh, I didn't hit. Yeah, it's your turn. I didn't hit transition so you guys could see my cards on stream, but now you see Rick's bald spot.
All right,
here we go. Lots of cards. None of them coming to me. Who's got a brick? Anybody got a brick?
I got shit. Got shit for shit. Oh yeah, I'll talk to that. What color am I?
You're green. Did you already reject it?
Oh no, I didn't reject it. I don't know how to accept it on my end. I would have.
You. There should be a little green thing you click. Yes, right there. Did you get it?
No. Try again. Okay.
Is this Settlers of Catan?
Whatever.
All right, never mind. No trade.
No trade this turn.
Oh, sevens are out. Think of the years past when we would play this for hours on end. With
this music, this song.
This jam.
This was the song that we were playing those fateful nights.
Is a bop.
Oh, come on, man. Oh, come on, Champy.
Oh, so rude.
Yeah.
Oh, and he rude.
And he takes from you, Champy.
So rude.
Yeah.
Someone's the villain in this game already.
Yeah, you know what's great about teleworking is I can edit the podcast tomorrow.
Hey, that's good. Then I don't have to feel bad about not uploading right away. 12s are hitting. Finally.
Nobody puts things on.
Nobody wants a 12.
Okay, here we go.
Also, you are the only one. No, Champy's on sheep as well. So
yeah,
you don't have a sheep monopoly.
Oh no, nobody has a brick, huh?
I don't.
You lying.
I don't.
You sack of shit.
It was taken from me.
Oh.
It was stolen. Yeah, I'm done.
4. No, nobody's on 4. Especially not me. 8. Nobody's on 8. I'm gonna lose this one real quick.
But you win all these games.
Yeah, well, not when John's there. John always wins when he's around. Oh, great. 11. I was gonna put it there too. Damn it.
Those 11s are finally hitting.
It's frustrating.
Shoot. You got wood, guys? Any wood out there?
I do, yeah, I do. I do have wood. But also the resource. Yeah. Do that.
Oh, you figured it out. You figured it out.
With a pencil and a pad, I figured it out.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Job's done.
Job's done. 4. Nobody ever rolls a 4.
Nobody expects the 4s.
Oh, jeez. Look at
Man, he's steamrolling.
Yeah, man.
Little do we know that John spent the last 10 years in an underground Catan league just waiting for this moment to strike back and take us on.
I mean, you joke, but I don't think that's wrong.
That's
I
a
get-
7.
Get to place a robber, huh?
Yeah, you do. Typical.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Great.
Okay.
Great. That's exactly what I wanted. Does anybody
Yes,
have...
this is Settlers of Catan.
do you have any who has wheat? Do you have any wheat?
You need a wheat?
Yeah.
For what?
Wood. Got wood.
Okay.
All right.
Make the
Cool.
trade.
Sweet. Okay.
And then you click on my blue check mark to accept it.
Oh, I got it. Oh. I understand now. I understand now. Cool. All right. Then I stop that. So we have any stone?
Nope.
Oh no. All right. Well.
Nope.
God.
Come on, 11s. Let's see those 11s hit. Hey, 5s are money for you, Brandon. Look at that. 5s are money.
5s are money. Yeah. Shit. Yay. 8.
Somebody's got to get down to that 8 sheep. That's all you, Brandon.
Huh. Yeah.
I don't know why this is, I don't know why this window is cropped the way that it is. Let's see if I can fix this. You can see a little bit more of the screen.
Yeah. Hey, do you want a wood, Travis?
No.
Or Shan?
No, I'm good.
Shan? Here, I need some of this. Need some of this brick.
Trying to get rid of brick?
No, I need a brick.
Um,
John, give me that brick. Said no. Fuck him.
Oh, he said no.
Fuck him.
Oh, moving that robber. Moving that thief. You guys aren't built anywhere near each other. How many cards? How many victory points? All right. Thank you.
Oh yeah, that 8. There you go. Getting rid of that. Knocking that 8 real quick.
And done. What did I set this game to? I think 7 points. 7
Yeah.
points to win.
Yep.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh god. Oh jeez.
Man. Them,
Well-
them 9s though. Hey, do you need a stone?
I don't. I don't need any stone. I need brick is what I need.
You need brick.
Yeah.
I can't help you there.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Wheat.
Oh, I do need wheat. Actually,
Do you have sheep?
I do have sheep.
Sheep for wheat.
Okay, all right. Sheep for wheat. That's no problem at all. Okay. Let's see. Brick. They might have brick.
Nope.
No. Okay. How many sheep do I have? Damn it, that's not what I want to do.
John crying. Oh, my turns take so long, they said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
True.
know. It's true. I'm playing pretty quick. Oh, the eights.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah.
Needed that 8.
No brick out there because I
No brick?
blocked it. So that'll be my turn.
Thanks a lot. 8.
You know, that's not the worst spot, Brandon, to be on 3 wood hexes and then that close to a wood port. That's
Yeah. Well,
that
in
could pay off for you, man.
I have the exact same 3 numbers: 5, 9, and 10. 5, 9, and 10.
Oh yeah, that's gotta diversify. That's
2.
Yeah.
so I rolled a 2.
You rolled a 2.
Ugh. No brick out there still.
Nope.
Does you have a sheep?
Nope.
Okay. Damn. All right. Well, then I guess I'll do next turn. Turn take 2.
Oh. Yeah. There's no brick out there. So we press on.
Oh no.
Oh, you had so many cards, Brandon. And now you're
Yeah.
gonna only have 6.
Fuck.
Wow, so rude. So rude, John. It's really banking on that wood.
No, that was the one I needed. No.
This is my jam. Man, look at those 5s though, huh?
Yeah. Right.
Right?
Right.
He's complaining about having all the same numbers, but it's bugged. It's bugged. Dude. Yeah, he put a cheat code in, John. It's he's got his Game Genie on this web browser. All right, finally my turn. Yes. Wait, he has no cards.
Oh no.
You try to be nice.
Yeah.
Good thing I got it off that 9. Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Hey, good job. Good job on that 9.
I haven't got a resource in 5 turns. I know how that feels.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, not this turn. I mean, because we keep rolling 9s. What do you need, Brandon?
Okay, well, not that. Needed that. Definitely needed that. Let's see. You don't have any wheat, do you?
Nope. I gave it to you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. Well, 2, 3. Okay.
Stupid.
Ah.
Stupid.
Sucks.
I got all of those. I got all of those cards in the last roll, and then.
It sucks.
And then I couldn't. I never had a chance to even cash them in.
You had so many trees.
So many trees. But it all works out.
It all works out. Oh no, my 10. No.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how this goes.
I just traded for that wheat too.
Another 7? Jeez.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna put it, John?
Put it on. Yeah, there you go. Pick on Brandon. Pick on Brandon night.
Well, you always win. You always win this game, Brandon.
Yeah. Oh, there's that 9. Real fucking cool, man.
Now I'll get a 7 again because I got more than. Whew. 3s are hot. Look at that. Nobody has brick, right?
Nope. Nope.
We haven't had a brick in forever. So we'll do that.
This song is so upbeat. It's an upbeat, inspirational song about life.
All right. Turns over. Did you just like Google royalty-free music? What did you?
Yeah, you just go to YouTube and you look up royalty-free music.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Dang, with the 3s, bro.
Yeah.
And he nobody knew that 3s were gonna be the hot roll of the game, but John knew. Somehow John knew.
Somehow. And now that robber is gonna stay on my guy forever.
Forever. You got a wheat, Brandon?
I don't.
Okay.
I think John does.
Does he?
Yeah. But I don't have any wheat because John put the robber on my 10 when the 10 got rolled. And got moved to the 9 and then the 9 got rolled.
This is an offer for you, John. Because I know you're hurting so much in trees after hitting 3 like twice. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, turns over.
Oh.
I knew that 2 would pay off. It's just a matter of time. Oh, that's a sheep. That's a sheep port. My only hope to get a resource is to land on a 7. Yeah. It don't always be like that, but sometimes it do.
I hope a 9 gets rolled.
see him build that road? He's going for longest road. He's doing it.
Yeah.
He's trying to encroach on your tens there.
I know he is. I mean, so long as he builds there, then then I only risk the 10 getting screwed by you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, takes so long. His turns just are so long, It's only exacerbated by the interface on this web client.
This web-based browser game.
Yeah. 12.
12.
good.
Nobody's
That's good.
on it.
The one that everybody wants. Next. 2.
Those twos, they're hitting. They're hitting hard. Yeah, we'll do that. Give that a shot. And yeah, we'll call it a day. Them 6s. All right, nap time. Let us know when John's done.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about John's turns is, it takes so long that we actually get our stream time up.
Yeah, that's good. Brandon, something that we didn't discuss during the episode, but that I would be very interested in discussing with you, is the Disney Plus. Are you trying to trade me back for my card that you took from me? What a jerk. No, I can't. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Disney Plus, the Hamilton,
Nope.
Hamilton
Not interested.
film, original Broadway cast, coming to Disney Plus July 3rd. I was thinking about you because
I'm disabling trade with John from here on out. Since he's just going to abuse it until his timer runs down.
I should have made a shorter timer. I didn't think about that. I gotta know.
Yeah.
And I know we've talked about it a lot, but I don't have that, John. I don't have wheat. I don't have it in my cards. Why are you so anti Hamilton?
John, just come on, man. Just advance the turn. Now's not the time to troll us. Just let's get this game over with.
Oh, was it my turn? Jeez. Yeah. Why no?
Can you kick people? Can you kick people from a game?
I don't know. I don't
Because
know that I have that.
I'm okay. I'm okay with kicking John.
Oh, I can click on him apparently, and see his achievements and his history. But no, it does not.
Let's just kick him. Let's just kick him.
I don't know that I can.
Yeah. He's just wasting our time. He's just wasting our time.
Okay, it's your turn, Brandon. Quick go.
I'm gonna take my time.
Did you roll a 7?
I did.
Jeez. Oh, and you put it there of all places.
No, of course. I'm gonna steal from. No, I don't know. That's a close one. I'm just gonna. No, what would I? No. Who's blue?
Me. I'm blue.
Oh, thanks.
You took it from me.
Take it from me.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
So just straight up anti-Hamilton period? Like
No. I mean, I like Hamilton. All right. It's not that I don't like Hamilton. It just I'm not a musical guy.
Okay. That's
one.
That's
two. I still don't know what the fascination with Hamilton is, really.
Yeah.
For being honest. I don't necessarily think that Lin-Manuel Miranda's rapping is the best. I'm not incredibly impressed by him.
Yeah.
So I guess when you think about like things that are out there that people are like, oh my god, this is so great, and then you see it and you're like, I don't understand it. That's how I feel about Hamilton. I
Yeah.
don't.
But also you haven't watched it or
Oh.
listened to the album. So
Well, you have. No, I've listened to some of the album.
So yeah. And I think the conceit that his rapping is so great. For me, it's not about the rapping that is the appeal necessarily. So yeah, agreed. 2-minute timer. I could adjust settings maybe.
No, it's fine. We're almost done here.
But yeah, I don't know. Do you still have a Disney Plus subscription?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
The safe answer is yes.
Does anybody have any wheat? Do you have a wheat?
I don't have any wheat. No wheat.
Mm-hmm. All right.
If you roll a 12, maybe, or a 4, or an 11.
Yeah, it's...
You know what I realized?
What's that?
I am an idiot.
Oh yeah? Are you about to win?
No, I could have won probably a couple turns ago.
Oh, because you could have done longest road.
Yeah. And I forgot we were playing till only 7.
Yeah. Well, well, you still can, right?
Yeah, no, I could still potentially win. Yeah.
Well,
but yeah, I would just say, maybe not July 3rd, maybe sometime during your 4th of July weekend. Just turn it on, just take a gander at it, give it a whirl. Maybe at least half of the first act. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I will watch it, but it's like I don't fully expect you to watch Hellraiser 2.
No, I already watched it.
Wikipedia doesn't count. That's a Brandon move.
That is a total Brandon move. Yeah. I have to watch Hellraiser 1 first, right? So I can get the context.
That's right.
Sire Dark already said. He's like, you gotta understand the backstory.
I mean, he's not wrong in that. But it's very...
give me a like the elevator pitch on Hellraiser, because I don't even have the foggiest idea of like the basic plot.
Okay. Well.
Also, no pressure, but it's your turn.
Oh, yeah, right. Let's do that real fast. Okay. Let me do this first, and then I'll get into the elevator.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, look at John trying to block me from getting longest road.
Yeah, he's trying to John block you.
Classic John.
Do that. Okay. All right. Here's the pitch in a quick nutshell, and the nutshell is a man and his wife and his daughter move into a house. The daughter is not biological to the mother, by the way. And all of a sudden, the man's brother, Uncle Frank, comes into the house, and is well, I take that back. No, oh, I screwed it up. Oh, you won. Good
I
job.
won. I won the game
I
by
was mad at
placing
that.
2 roads.
John didn't do it. Look at that.
He didn't
I,
bug
I,
me.
I would have won if it was just me. Oh, really? It was just those 2 roads.
Yeah, because well, I had 5 points, and then
Yeah, I didn't realize the longest road was only 5 roads. I forgot that.
Yeah. That's the starting point for longest road. So
Yeah.
so let's get a quick.
I have like 17 roads usually, so I just never know when longest road ends.
Thank you, John, for playing with us. Now it's time for Brandon's telling us what Hellraiser is about.
Uncle Frank is an evil person, and he has a box that he unlocks to hell. Well, hell takes him in, kills him, but the mattress that he was on, the stepmom accidentally awakens Frank, and Frank is a skinless body, so the stepmom has to get victims in order to revive Uncle Frank. Well, in the course of this, they end up killing the father, and Frank takes over the father's skin, and the daughter, Kirsty Cotton, ends up making a deal with the Cenobites, who are these kind of demons from hell, saying like, Frank escaped you, I will get him back for you. And that's essentially what the first Hellraiser is about.
Sounds like a perfect film. All right, guys.
It is. And Clive Barker, he was learning as he was going when he was making the movie. So the movie gets better over time, but it's lots of really, really wonderful practical effects. The whole skinless Frank is great. And in Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, it kind of continues that motif. Practical effects are just fucking it's so bitchin'. And Dark's gone. He's a long time gone from watching the stream, but he would agree.
I believe he would. Well, that's gonna wrap up the stream for the evening. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thanks for watching the podcast. Thanks for watching us play internet video games. And that's gonna about do it. We will potentially be back midweek for some sort of game stream. No promises, but I plan on playing more No Man's Sky this week, so maybe I'll just throw it up on the screen for you guys to watch.
I'm gonna do that right now, as a matter of fact.
Jeez, Brandon, you would. All right, guys. Well, we will talk to you later, and you guys have